the show.
Hello, folks, and happy Friday. I guess it's Friday evening in Europe. So, good evening, Europe, and good afternoon to everyone, here in the States. I'm feeling real good, y'all. It's been an interesting Eurovision week, a very interesting Eurovision week. And I guess I'll kick off and talk about the host because I think that was probably like the big story from this week, right? That was like the big story from this week. So I see a question here. Excited for my opinion on the host. Now, I don't spend a lot of time talking about like the logos uh and like the stage design because ultimately I just feel like is it really that big of a deal? Is it really going to affect our experience watching the show? But I will say the hosts do. The hosts do affect how we relate to the show. So I see. Ooh, thank you so much. So yeah, I'm assuming you only know of Graham Norton and maybe Alicia Dixon. Let's have a great discussion on the host. Thank you, and thank you so much. I'm like, those are some dollars. Dollar bills, y'all. Oh my goodness. Thank you. So yeah, let's kick off and talk about the host. So I am familiar with Hannah Waddingham. Alicia Dixon, never heard of her. I was like, who? And I think she had been like rumored. And I remember when I saw something like, oh, it might be her. I was like, who and why? So let me, I guess, kick off with like the obvious. Yes, I've talked on this stream before about the fact that I felt like we needed to have Graham in the building and not just in the building on the stage. I felt that deeply. So I am glad that Graham is blessing us with his presence. I guess some people don't like Graham Norton. To me, for him not to be a host would feel glaring. And I think I've been very consistent on that. Like for him not to be asked, it's just like, well, why not? Like it just felt like no, like he's gonna have to be there. So I'm happy that we have Graham at the grand final. Yulia, I think, great pick. Not the Ukrainian that I thought we would go with. I don't know what her hosting abilities are, but I love the fact that she's a performer. And Hannah's a performer too. Hannah can sing. And obviously Alicia is had a singing career, but now has just moved to like, I guess, presenting. Overall, I think that this is going to be a great show. I would say the one thing that this is with all of these hosts, we couldn't just do a 2 and 2. I was saying that from jump that it should just be 2 UK people and then 2 Ukrainian folks. Uh, you know, that's what I would have done if I was in the creative team making the decisions. That is the decision that I would do. And someone said Graham is Irish. I know he's Irish. I know he's Irish. But I get but he works for the BBC. He has a show. So I'm saying like that's your UK representative. So I was like, you have 2 of those, and then, and then 2 Ukrainians. But yeah, that's what I would have had it. I would have had it split down the middle. Let's also talk about the fact that we're having 4 hosts in the grand final. Lord Jesus. I talked about this in my most recent podcast, so y'all should definitely get into the podcast Eurovision for Real. It's available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. How do I want to? I just, if we had seen, if we had had 4 hosts where it worked and there was tons of chemistry and they were just gelling and there was a rapport there, I could be convinced. We have yet to experience that. And so to me, 4 people who don't really have like a gel, it's just going to give awkward a little bit. Whereas at least with 2 people, you can almost mask it a little bit, I think. it's just, I just don't think we need to have that many people presenting a show when we have literally seen one person do it. You know what I mean? We've seen one person do it. So I'm just kind of like, uh, I don't know. I don't know. But I mean, all in all, overall, I'm not worried. The show is going to be good. Like it's going to be good. So I'm not that concerned. I think the production will be great. I think we'll have a nice balance. And honestly, I really like the hosts that give us like the singing and dancing. Like I like a little bit of kind of like review show style presenting, where we get some music, and I feel like between Yulia, Alicia, and Hannah, we gonna get it. So I'm happy about that. I'm definitely happy about that. And I feel like it looked like the BBC was trying to spread the love a little bit. Now I know some of y'all were just like, oh, it should have been Rylan. I told y'all from jump that the resume was not going to be long enough. Like I told y'all that from jump. Same thing with AJ. The resume not long enough. Allison, I would have liked. Allison Hammond would have been wonderful. Uh, I really like her. I really like her, and just good rapport. But we've got Graham in the mix. I think that this is going to be good overall. What do you think of Graham hosting and co-commentating for the UK? I think it's too much. I think it's a little extra. I think he should just be focused on hosting. But you know, he'll. I think after the fact he'll be like, I didn't need to do all that. That's what I think. I think he'll be like, I didn't need to do all that. Uh, yeah. So, oh, wait. Someone said, I think four hosts worked in 2021. I disagree because even with the four hosts that we had in 2021, I could have deleted two of them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was like, what are you even really doing here? Like, no, no. It's just too much. It's just too much. We don't need it. And low key, it's going to cost you more money. And y'all know I'm cheap. Y'all know I'm real cheap. So we could have just ran, two checks. But instead, we're going to have to run all of these people money. That's just going to cost more money. I don't know. I'm down for the cheap option. Just hire two people, have your two people in the booth, and call it a damn day. But, here we are. Um, Lee, I'm very, very surprised that there are three UK hosts and just one Ukrainian. It should be 50-50. I mean, here we are. Here we are, though. Here we are. And, it's interesting because some of y'all was really, fighting for your life talking about Timur. Not talking about y'all. I'm talking about like Twitter. I was on Twitter. A lot of people were just like, yeah, like Timur should have been like on the stage. He already got to host. He already has hosting Eurovision on his resume. Like, for me, I'm like, we could have found somebody else from Ukraine. Like, he already got to do it. Like, he's got that on his resume. Okay. Let's move on. Let's pick somebody else who hasn't had the opportunity to host. And I still stand by my Mila Kunis comment. It would have been nice. It really, really would have been nice to have our girl Mila because she would have been so good, She would have been so good. But here we are. Blue Zone. UAPBC was involved in the decision, so it was their choice to have just one. Some people have complained about Rylan and AJ not being involved. Not everyone wants to host 24 hours in 1 week. I mean, yeah, not everyone. I mean, here's the thing. Rylan, I think, would have loved to host. I think he would have loved to host. I'm sure AJ would have loved to host. But when you look at the people who were selected from even the BBC team, I think there's a little bit of tenure in that. And I mean, if I'm the boss, I'm going down the list, I have to do it in a way that feels fair and sensical. And so I think that's why they were like, well, look, everyone loves Rylan and AJ. So let's just give them, let's give them as many opportunities as we can, knowing that like the big job, the resume just probably isn't long enough right now. But, I think if the UK keeps it up, Rylan will have an opportunity to host because honestly, if the UK keeps their act together, they will be winning Eurovision soon. So then we can move on. Okay. Oh, someone said, Alesia, what do you think about the press center being closed until dress rehearsals? I live for your rehearsal coverage, even from online press. Your reactions are so pure and honest. Well, thank you. Um, how do I want to say this? Uh, because other people have heard me say it, so someone else could have already snitched on me. I don't think that this is a bad idea, and I'm not mad at it. Here's the thing: if you are a media entity and you are giving people access to something, the idea of you giving the access to people is then that they will talk about it. And ultimately, the EBU has decided, I don't think they really want people talking about the rehearsals. You know what I'm saying? So if they don't want people talking about the rehearsals, then why would they give people access to it? That doesn't make any sense. So this is the smart thing. If they don't want people talking about it, then don't give people access. And so, and I'm okay with that. I mean, I shouldn't even say I'm okay with that. I mean, I have to be okay with that. I'm not in control. So it's like, it is what it is. It is what it is. And I do think there's something to be said for having like the official Eurovision coverage to kick off with the grand opening ceremony. I, I have to say, as an American Eurovision fan and now someone who's been creating content for almost, well, probably over 10 years in totality, but, officially on this channel, in this space since 2015, uh, I feel like, people feeling like they're losing access. It's interesting because I think my perch and my purview is very different. To me, I'm like, y'all live in Europe. So you can just go to all the national selections. And it's like, well, I shouldn't say go to all of them, but you are closer to it. So you get into a national selection is a little bit easier than me. You know, they have pre-parties. You can get access to these artists. So the idea that closing things down will limit content and or access, I think is slightly like amped up. It's a little bit like, it's not going to be that bad. Y'all get to go to all the pre-parties. You can interview the artists there. I've been interviewing artists virtual, thanks to the internet, we can make some things work. So, yeah. And I want to just, this has to do with money and the TikTok exclusivity. They're not doing the TikTok stuff anymore. They're not doing the TikTok stuff. Okay. They're not going to be doing that this year. So don't worry about that. And if you want to say like it's about money, it could be about money of like, because then you have to have all that space for people. You got to have vendors and things like that, provide water and stuff, put the AC on in the room or put the heat on. So if ain't nobody there, you don't have to worry about that. And, like I said before, I'm cheap. I am cheap. Okay. Um, oh, hold on. Yeah, what? By the way, they will charge ESC Village this year too. I don't think that that's a bad idea. Given the foolishness that went down last year, you know what? Sometimes you might just have to make people pay. It sucks, but it is the reality of the world that we live. And yeah, I don't know. Um, Someone said TikTok is a sponsor again, so they probably no. The rehearsals are not going to be public. They're not doing it. They actually said that. That was like in an official statement. They're not doing it like that. There will be video recaps that they'll have on YouTube. They'll probably put video recaps. But remember how they were doing the videos where it was just like one rehearsal, like at a time? They're not doing that this year. There will be one full one. Okay. So yeah, so I guess that's those are my thoughts on the host. And that's, I guess, my thoughts on the press piece. We ready to move on to something else? Um, yeah, yeah. So, thoughts on Loreen coming back. I mean, I think I shared that in my reaction video when they announced the contestants, for Melody Festival. And I'm excited. I heard the snippet. I think the song is good. I saw the little clip of the rehearsal. I thought it was good. But I am not going to get my hopes up. I'm not going to get my hopes up. I'm just not. I'm just not. And low key, y'all jinxing her all over the place, talking about, oh, she's gonna save Eurovision. She's got to get there first. She's got to make it. Okay, she got to make it there first. I am not about to get my feelings hurt by that country who has hurt my feelings before. They have hurt me deeply before. So I am very nervous. But honestly, I think that this heat, like, can we just talk about Melfest? Let's just talk about Melfest Heat 4 real quick. Um Melfest Heat 4, I feel like feels better than all of them. Like Mariette's clip looked good. EML, I was kind of feeling that. I was like, oh, okay. The two girls, Sigur and Yordis, I liked that little song too. I was like, oh, this is sweet. This is cute. And I think kicking off with the little pop girly, she had the little the things like that they bring up in the club when you get a bottle a bottle service. So yeah, I feel like Heat 4 just feels good. It feels exciting. It feels like Melody Festival. And I don't know if we've been getting that Melody Festival and like feeling this season. This it feels like Melody Festival almost like started this week. And I think that that's cool. Liam, I think Marcus and Martinez will win Melfest by a landslide. A landslide? Will it be a landslide? I don't know. Um, Nicole says Sweden is the definition of breaking your heart. I mean, they've done it so many times. So many times. Okay, Luan, Alesia, it was confirmed that Azerbaijani entry will be produced in Azerbaijan for the first time since 2008. How do you think it can affect the entry? Hopefully, maybe that it'll be good and not bland and like a Melfest like throwaway song. Hopefully, that would be nice. That would be nice to get something that feels like Azerbaijan, especially because Azerbaijan, they might not even qualify. So they really got to come with something correct, you know? Georgios, I'm worried for Mariette after what happened to Victoria. Sweden always treated Mariette very different than they treated Victoria. Mariette, perfect, direct to final. So maybe this time she'll be under Hansen. But I don't see Sweden blanking on Mariette. I don't think so. If anything, it'd be under Hansen. Uh, it, you know, or we really could have Mariette and Lorien being our DTF, direct to final. Back to Azerbaijan. Christian says, hope the song is in Azerbaijani. Low-key, it might need to be if they want to qualify. I think anything that's giving like bland pop in the semis this year is 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 going to be at a disadvantage. That is my theory this year. Uh, okay. Oh wait, World Sasori says same. I have a feeling that Robin will win UMK. Robin ain't winning UMK. I don't even think he's like close to winning UMK. Someone tell me Finnish people. Finnish people. Is that even a possibility? I don't think so. No. But maybe I should be pretending like it's possible just so I don't get my heart broken because I will be watching UMK. I'm watching UMK. I'm watching the entirety of the show. UMK is going to be on my big screen, 4K. That is what I'm doing. UMK, I'm very excited about. Honestly, for the whole production of the show, I'm very much so looking forward to what Finland is going to be giving us tomorrow evening, or, well, for me, tomorrow afternoon. AGR says, I think Statements was better than Tattoo, but the latter is more accessible, more mainstream, and the competition is not too strong this year. So hopefully Lorien will win. Here's the thing. Because Lorien will probably win the international jury. Like, we can go on and say that, right? But I think that Maria girl could come, or is her name Mariah? I feel like I was watching the pre-show for Melody Festival, and they kept saying Mariah, and I was like, Carrie? So I think, is it Marie? Her name might be Mariah. I don't know. So the young lady, you know, I will never, never give up. Uh, she comes second. She could still win the televote and thus then win, depending upon what the numbers are. So I just feel like it's not a cakewalk for Loreen, and I'm just nervous. But see, even I'm talking about it as if Loreen is just already going to advance. And we can't even have those conversations because we know what they do to us in Sweden. Who are you? As a runner coming up, then I'm gonna break in my heart. Yeah. Okay. Andrew, I know I shouldn't get my hopes up, but I already know I will be replaying Lorian's performance nonstop. I mean, look, y'all. Like I said, I'm gonna say this. I won't be watching Melody Festival tomorrow. I will be watching Lorian's performance. Now, if I catch one of the opening acts to the Lorien 3-minute concert, okay. If I do, maybe. But yeah, no. Um, yeah, yeah. Uh, I am, yeah. What else is going on? Someone said Rena. I don't even know who this Rena girl is. I've never even heard her music, but everybody wants her to go for the UK. Um, I'm like, okay. Um, yeah, yeah. Alesia, what are your thoughts about Israel's Noah Corell? I have talked ad nauseum about that young lady. She was the first to confirm artist. Hit up a podcast. Hit up the podcast. I don't know what that hasn't already been said. Costa, Marriott's chokehold on Sweden, despite her Melfest entries being the bulk of discography, is so wild to me. Everybody loves Mariette. Costa, get with the program. Everyone loves her. Okay. Lee, what do you think about the rumors for the UK entry? Rena, Grace, Freya making the rounds. I just want, so I honestly, it's all going to be about the song because remember Sam Ryder when he was, um, yeah, yeah, like how do I put it? Um, I feel it's going to be the song. Remember when Sam Ryder was making the rounds? I was like, I don't even really know who he is, and everyone was just talking about all these people. It's like, it really doesn't matter. We need the song. The song, the song, the song. ERI coming back like Mariette is international treasure. Let's all be real for a second. I mean, I really like I and actually from the clip I saw of like Mariette's performance, I was like, oh, this looks good too. I mean, really, Mariette and Lorien could be direct from this mix. They really both could be direct. I don't know. I don't know. Um, Luan, did your semifinal predictions change with the well, duh. Y'all know I wasn't being real serious. I was just like, basing it off of like, yeah, we really don't have no songs, but like I can look at this and be like, this will just be fun to kind of figure out what will work. And yeah, I will say though, I because I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about the national finals and just, the songs left behind. My latest podcast, I'm talking about the songs we left behind. Um, and and so I will tell you. Oh, and I said that I was going to start off the video and do this, and I didn't do that. But go on, if anyone wants to clip, this is clippable. Go on and get your little screen recorders ready because I do have an official statement that I would like to make. I would like to kind of not apologize. When I reacted to Belgium's entry, I reacted thinking that we were going to have a strong Eurovision year, like a potential 2021 rival year, where we've got just like 20 solid winner worthy songs. That's what I thought we were going to have. So then I was left deeply concerned for Belgium's chances to qualify. I don't think that I'm deeply concerned about their chances to qualify at this point. And honestly, I don't even know if semifinal one is really going to be a bloodbath, because for it to be a bloodbath, we would know that we are going to be like guaranteed to lose a really good song. And the level of just good and mid, and I said really good, I mean great, exemplary song. I think we're getting a lot of good and safe this year, y'all. Am I alone? Am I alone? I just feel like so many of the songs this year are safe. And it's interesting because when I think of like a good example of safe, y'all know that I I'm liking Lithuania's track. I'm loving it. I love the song. I think it's I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. Um yeah, I do. I like it a lot. But I try forever. Yo, Rudimer solo. Are you kidding me? Like, I don't want to say that it's better, but it's a risk. It's not safe. As again, as much as I love Chudo, Dudo, I love the song. It's great. Like y'all know I like it. But it's safe. It's safe. It's not, it's not risky. And I'm not saying that we don't have any risks. And I also, and y'all want to clip this too. Y'all got the clippers ready? uh get the clippers ready. I want to say thank you, Croatia. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. No, I will not be listening to that song in my car. I won't. But I appreciate you not boring me to death with something basic. Like with something basic. So I said I was going to start up the stream and do that. I apologize. I apologize. I buried this. It was not intentional. I really wanted to start up the stream and just get that out of the way. Because yeah, I wanted to spend a little bit of time, talking about what do you call it? I want to just the songs we left behind. And Lithuania's, that's one that stings. Belgium, I'm sorry, y'all. I never listened to the other options from Belgium, so I can't speak to it. I can't speak to it. But at this point, because I told y'all before, I liked the song. I just was like, I don't know if this is going to qualify. Like, I don't know if this is enough. Right now, I'm thinking, no, Belgium, you can go on and, book your flight for coming back home on Sunday, because you'll have to perform on Saturday, I think. It's looking like Gustav is gonna be telling us, when the world got me going crazy, I carry on. So talking about Croatia will never touch my top 10. Don't like, because if I can't listen to it in the car, I'm not putting it there. But I can still recognize the fact that I'm like, thank God, thank God, thank God it's there. Thank God it's there, giving us something interesting, like something, it's just so safe. So someone said, what's your opinion about Greece withdrawing in this year's is it official? Is it official that they withdrew yet? I haven't heard it. I think I still see it on the website. So I don't know. I could click. I don't know. We'll see. Opinions on France. The song has grown on me even more. Because like when I did my top 10, I was like, I just didn't have enough time. I mean, it literally dropped and I filmed the video hours later. But when I filmed the video, I acknowledged, I was like, I woke up with the song in my head. So I like France's entry. It still but to me, honestly, I think that France's song is safe. I don't think it's that risky. I think it's pretty safe for them. France has given us riskier. I mean, last year was a risk. It flopped, I guess. People want to say it flopped, but I find it far more interesting, than what we're getting this year. Doesn't mean I don't like it. It's just safe. Um, Someone said, I'm extremely concerned for Ireland. I don't know. In a sea of like good and mid, I mean, we are We are one tonight. Okay. Maria, Alesia, do you think Blanca Paloma has a real chance of winning Eurovision? Yeah, especially in a sea of mid and a sea of safe. Yeah. Um, yeah. Oliver, I'm excited for Georgia given that Ibra. No. I'm checking for Georgia. I'm checking for Georgia. Georgia might be qualifying this. I think Georgia's qualifying this year. Well, we haven't heard the song yet, but I think it's going to be good. Uh, RM says, I still think Elsie Bay or Jonas' song would be much better for Norway. It's hard to say that when Queen of the Kings was like #1 on the Spotify like charts. It's hard for us to make that argument. And honestly, like she's gonna qualify. She'll probably come top 10. So I really did. Yeah, I liked that one. Elsie Bay's song, I don't think it would have qualified. I'll be honest. I don't think it would have qualified. I don't. Well, I don't know. In a sea of mid, I don't know. Maybe it would have stood out because at least it was a quality song. You know, it was a quality song, but I wasn't getting the vibe. Giorgio says Luke Black would be awesome if he wins. Instantly my #1, and he was such a sweetheart in your interview. Look, y'all, Luke is going to be giving us a show. Do you know how excited I am to tune in to Serbia's national selection? Like the level of excitement, I almost want to take off. I will almost want to take the afternoon off from work. That is how excited I am because I am so looking forward to the shows. I really am. I really am. I like, man, these national selections got me in a chokehold this year, and I don't know how I feel about it. Okay, because I will say what is messing me up is the fact that I'm like, I haven't really hopped into the Eurovision 2023 playlist. Like I'm listening to Spain's song and Ukraine's, but that's it. That's it. When I'm consuming Eurovision, I'm putting the music videos on. So I'm well, and not just the music videos, but I'm going to I'm searching YouTube and I'm going to the official Eurovision channel and just watching the videos. Like that's how I'm consuming it. Whereas like when I'm in my car, when I'm sort of living passively, when I'm just doing kind of passive things, I don't know if I'm making sense. Then I am listening to my national selections kind of selects playlist. Oh, and I'm listening to Latvia's song. Yeah, Latvia song because I was listening to that one before. So because it was on my playlist because I have like my kind of pre-Eurovision playlist. So I really do need to transition. I feel like we got enough songs now that I really need to start bathing in Eurovision 2023. And I don't know if I've quite done that yet because I'm telling you, Serbia, Finland, just some of these national selections, that's like the world I'm living in. Yo, when I tell you the best like 3 songs, put on Kuma, start with Kuma's song, then go to Rudimer, and then have the triumphant Hoida Moot after. The sequence of them 3 songs in the car, you're welcome. You are welcome. I am Stephen. Melissa sued ERT, so the official confirmation of Victor is going to be halted until the lawsuit is resolved. So yeah, they haven't left yet. Jace book. Alesia, who do you think has the most underrated entry this year? In my opinion, it's Australia. It'd be between Malta and Latvia, I think. Hey, girl, what you say? Do you want to dance? I think Europe is looking for some fun this year. And Malta might be able to squeak through because it's fun, it's cute, and the guys, it's just I like that one. And Latvia, because I think we think Latvia is probably not going to qualify because given the track record, but that song is really good. Like it is like a solid studio cut. And the live performance, I mean, he was able to deliver it live. I do think they need to change the staging package. Latvia, please, we don't need the lights. figure something else out, maybe cut a check and hire somebody who knows how to do this. Yeah, I would say underrated. I say Malta and Latvia. I think those are really, really good. Um, okay. Um, okay. Um, in Vino Veritas. Oh, and I will just say, y'all, okay, this is to join the stream. If folks are not camera shy, DM me on Instagram and I will invite you to the stage. We are at that portion of the stream. Don't be camera shy. Don't be camera shy. I will hop in there soon. So hold on. So I think Slovenia and like Czechia are fighting for the win. Spain's still in there though. Spain's still in there. And honestly, I think the fandom is just sleeping on Ukraine, but I don't know. Anta says, I'm concerned for Estonia. It really grew on me. I would be concerned for Estonia too. I really thought Alika Bridges, I thought more of y'all were going to like it. And when I first heard it, I literally got chills just from the snippet. But I say, like, I don't know. I just don't think that Europe, I don't know if Europe wants to cross that bridge. I think Europe wants to get lit at a party or have something super ethnic and like kind of, I hate to say like cultural, but like just something really, really ethnic and out of the box. That's what I think. Breadmaster says, sorry, Euro fans are mad about another Nordic pop song not winning a national final, but we don't need more of it in the contest. Well, as long as it's, I just want to say, oh my goodness, so many of y'all are watching. I didn't even see how many people were watching. So many of y'all are watching. Thank you so much for tuning in. Seriously, I really, really appreciate it. And so I'm getting a little bit behind. So wait, someone says Alika doesn't bring the emotion in her performance the way people like Sissy can. I don't think that that's fair. I feel like she was selling it. I think she was selling it. I think it's just, does Europe want to have this dramatic kind of ballad? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah. Luan, Alesia, Caucasus will save us this year. Hear me out. I feel like Armenia is preparing great quality. Georgian team looks promising. Azerbaijan better send something ethnic using their language. I mean, look, I'm checking for Armenia and I'm checking for Georgia. Azerbaijan, honestly, after the behavior last year, I could do without them coming back this year. And just like one, but I feel more excited because I feel more excited because what do you call it? Because Azerbaijan said that it's going to be produced there. So then it feels like, okay, this isn't going to be like kind of a generic pop song. I hope not. I hope not. So we'll see. Question, please don't spam the chat. Yeah, please don't spam the chat. There's a whole bunch of people watching. Yeah. And then the question, oh yeah, it's just moving so fast. Alesia, have you heard the UMK snippets they just released? It seems like Benjamin could be flopping since his vocals. I haven't heard any snippets. But a rehearsal is a rehearsal. This is why the EBU doesn't want y'all coming up watching their rehearsals. They don't want y'all up in there. The reason why they don't want y'all up in there is because they don't want y'all talking about the rehearsals. So I'm gonna mind my business and not talk about the rehearsals. Okay. Oh, I got a message, I think so. Let's see. Come with your question and or topic and we will chat it out. Okay. So yeah, hold on. Okay. Ahmed says, Alesia, what are your favorite Turkish entries? Y'all already know. Hey, hey, come on, come on. And then I like Doom Tech Tech. I still listen to Doom Tech Tech a little bit. Like every so often it comes up in the car and I'm always like, I would really love Turkey to return to the contest. That would be really, really nice. Because at least Turkey wouldn't be boring us to death with safe. Safe, 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 safe. Any further thoughts on Australia's chances to qualify? I mean, this is the issue. I'm actually now feeling like semifinal 2 is looking stronger than semifinal 1 in its current form. I feel like Australia in semifinal 1 qualifying, like I feel like I feel more like yeah, like it will qualify. I just really like the song. I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I can just see it both ways. I can see it making it and I can see it just missing out. Like I can see it being like a solid like 5th place, 4th place like qualifier. I could see a scenario where that happens. But I can also see a scenario where it ends up being, just like borderline. I don't know. Oscar Lorraine, winter vibes. Also excited for Israel. We got to get our girl to Eurovision first. Don't be having me up here like freaking out. You don't understand. Like, go back and look at my videos from 2017. I You know what's so funny? It just hit me. What did Sweden even send 2017? I don't even remember. Oh my God. Hold on. Because it was 2017. We were in Ukraine. Who, what? Oh, it was Robin. Don't, da-dum, da-dum. Hey, I did like that song. And actually, it was funny because I was one of the few people who was like, oh, this could win. And like no one was like checking for him. And I'm like, this can win. And my boyfriend on the treadmill. No. Hold on. Oh, okay, this is a good one. So, Alesia, I know your favorites in the German selection, but who is your absolute number one? Oh, oh, I don't want to pick. I really don't want to pick. I like, I mean, I don't want to pick. Here's the thing. I think if Germany, if I'm thinking about what we have at Eurovision, I kind of am like, I'd love just to continue sort of our band theme. I would love Lord of the Lost to go because I'm just like, yeah, and like we know we'll have that guaranteed rock moment in the final. So like a part of me is kind of like, oh, yeah, like so yeah, blood and like I love the guarantee of having that rock moment in the final. So that's one piece of it. But then, you know, I said I didn't get to interview. I sent them like DMs, like their press person. I don't know what's going on with Frida Gold. Frida Gold's is interesting, but I don't think it's the mood of Europe. I don't think it's the mood of Europe. I think some people would pick up the phone and call for Patty Gertie though. My melody. Well, da, da, da. Yeah. I think send the sign alive. But then, I think back to like Will's song. I just really like hold on. Show me how to find my way home. Yeah, I really, really like Will's song. Um, I don't. Oh. I can't pick. I can't pick. I can't pick. I can't pick. Oh, Nicola, do you think that Luke Black with Interesting Stage can be a winner? Yeah, 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 I do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Um, okay, Alicia, what are your top five countries in Europe? I don't know. Probably like, yeah, like probably Ukraine is up there for me. Portugal, I've always kind of liked Portugal even before the FTC revamp. Like I always felt like they got shafted unfairly. Um, Historically speaking, Sweden. Sweden used to always give me what I wanted. What I wanted. But yeah, Sweden used to be there. Um, Greece. Greece is probably up there for me. Yeah. Italy. Italy. I don't know. And like Serbia's 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 is maybe becoming. Maybe, yeah, maybe Serbia is becoming something. All right, well, we got our first person coming up to the stage. Come with your topic and we'll talk about it. All right. So, my first person up here is David.
Hi,
How are you doing today?
I'm very well. How are you?
I am good. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, I get the mood. I know a lot of people have fallen into the kind of it's a mid-season rabbit hole. I think we've definitely had a bit of that, but I also think that now the mindset is setting in, and like a new song drops, I just don't think it's getting given the chance that it might in another season. So my examples are probably most France and really Australia, which I think is a lot stronger than people are saying. I just feel like it's getting slept on just because this mindset is now kicking in of it's a mid-season, and I just think we have to fight it a little bit, mm. Even though
So
it is.
this is, and I actually talked about this in my not in my most recent, my next podcast that's coming out. I actually talk about this a little bit with Australia in particular. Here's the problem. It is the broadcaster and the PR team's fault. It's their fault
Yeah,
because the issue was there was so much radio silence, which builds up a little bit of mystery. It builds up some intrigue. And then they do this like, oh, we're going to premiere it. Like, so I think we had like maybe just over 24 hours of like, oh, okay,
yeah,
they're
for
going
sure.
to, yeah, like, so, oh, okay, they're going to bring this. And so then you had people now, to me, at Kylie Minogue levels. Okay. People were at Kylie Minogue levels, and they probably shouldn't have been at Kylie Minogue levels. You could have a conversation about why did you think that? But that was where they were. And they were there because the team allowed them to get there by not saying anything. I think had they just announced Voyager when they had decided to go with Voyager, then you would have had us all looking at the performance from last
Mm,
year. We would have been looking at their back catalog. You would have had people like, ooh, so what are they going to bring to Eurovision? Because they won the televote
yeah,
um, in
yeah.
Australia. So we would have had that. And so then when the song would have came out, we would have been cool. But instead, you built people up to Kylie Minogue levels of intrigue, and
Love that.
and then gave them
Same,
the
Kylie Minogue.
runner up. You know what I mean? And then gave people the runner up from last year. It's like you could have just said that. You could
I
have
think
just
the
told
24-hour
us.
drop is kind of the worst, actually, because when you've got a national final or when you've got a long build-up, you can kind of manage your expectations. But yeah, either just drop something or don't bother. 24 hours is a weird amount of time to
It
drive
just
everyone crazy.
Yeah, and so I do think Australia, and I worry about it because I just felt like they fumbled the bag with their PR plan. It just didn't work out, and then also did it, and then really the EBU screwed it over for them because then we found out who the hosts were like the next day, and so now who cares about what Australia said? Let's talk about all these hosts, you
Yeah,
know?
we got lost in the mix for sure.
Yeah, so I think
It's a good
that was.
song. I honestly, I was really surprised. I did not think I would like it, and then I totally did. Yeah.
Mm. I mean,
Mm.
and I think I will say I do think, well, but I also think it's because we're getting a lot of safe.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would call Voyager's song safe, but it feels safer than the song last year. I felt like last year the structure of the song made it a little bit more interesting.
Yeah.
I think them as a band, I think are like they're not boring, but it does feel a little bit safe. I think even if you compare it to their other pieces, but and I think
I think
about
the mid is
Frank.
catching. I think that's the problem. I think the mid is spreading, and everyone's like, you know,
Actually, and maybe that is at play a little bit. Um, oh, hold on here. I am Steven. Alesia, in the allocation draw stream, you said don't even announce the artist, just give us a song. I mean, I still stand by that, low key.
yeah.
Hold on. I was like, I sat down here and forgot to plug up my laptop like a genius. Wonderful.
Do we know if
Um,
Azerbaijan are going to do any sort of? We don't know anything at all, do we? They're the
well,
last.
all we know now is it's going to be produced there. I imagine they probably have an artist, so we'll see about that. But I will say, David, thank you for coming to the stage and bringing up this very important topic because it's real. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. You're
Thanks
not
for
wrong.
having me.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Yeah, I said don't even announce the art. Yeah, I mean, I agree with that too. I agree with that. I still stand by that. But I'm saying, had Australia just announced Voyager, they wouldn't. I think it would have been a better rollout for them than what they're currently getting right now. But if I was running the PR game, I would be dropping the song and the artist. Yeah, I would be dropping the song and the artist. That's probably what I would do. All right, we got another person up to the stage. It is Bruce. How are you feeling today? And where are you calling from?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm great.
And I'm in Scotland.
Okay.
Yeah. I wanted to, it kind of touches on what you've spoken on already, with the year being kind of mid. I think from a Eurovision fan and being in the bubbles perspective, it is quite safe,
Mm,
and not necessarily exciting. But I think a lot of these songs are things that quote unquote locals go wild for. It's the kind of music that people really like and enjoy. They're radio friendly songs. There's nothing that's offensive. So from an EBU perspective and a viewership perspective, it's going to be quite a successful contest. There's going to be a lot of hits that kind of maybe come out of it. They might not be the most exciting or the most dazzling for us, but I think it will be quite good.
hmm.
But what I do want to say is that in terms of Melody Festival, and this year has been quite dull, even for Euro fans.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to say it's been set up for a Loreen win, but it's SVT can sometimes maybe have their sneaky games and whatnot. But I think did they maybe not put some stronger songs in so that Loreen maybe does have a better chance? I don't know. But
But
from what
that
I've
would
seen, it
but
seems
that
like
would
she's
be
quite.
assuming but that would be assuming that SVT wants it to be Lorianne to
Yeah, I
win.
mean, I don't see a scenario where she would come back unless, not that she would be guaranteed a win in any case, but I don't see her coming back, one, without something super competitive, which I see this song as. From what we've seen from it already, they're obviously holding back the biggest and most impactful parts of the song until
Mm.
tomorrow. So I don't really see, I can see them maybe snow plowing a slightly easier route for her to come. If she was like, we want the heavy hitter back, we could maybe snowplow a slight route for
I
her.
mean,
But
yeah, so I mean, here's the thing that we know is true. That Sweden SVT SVT, we know that they want to win and host Eurovision again. We do know that. Um I think, how do I say this? I think I don't think that they think they can only win with her though.
yeah,
So I don't think that they can I don't think that they think that. I would also say, well, but I think that this is good. I'd love to see Lorien at Eurovision again. Would she steal Blanca's spot? Probably. For me, like probably.
yeah,
But I have liked every single thing that she has done following up on Euphoria, which I know there are some even Eurovision fans who love Euphoria but don't like the album. I've liked everything that she's done since then. So for me, I knew that I was like, I knew I was gonna like the song.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have any other? Is there another topic you'd like to touch on?
The other one being, well, similar to you, UMK is going to be 4K on my TV tomorrow also, as I'm very excited. And it kind of touches on, similar to Melfest, where I think as Eurovision fans, we really enjoy big national finals with lots of songs. But I think what Finland's done with kind of curating the number of songs to create a really strong but small selection is something that
Mm-hmm.
is really kind of powerful. And I don't know exactly how they've done it, but the way that their social media team, the way they engage people, and the international community is really kind of organically drawn people in. And it seems to really have just snowballed the momentum on it over the last couple of years, which I think is really, really interesting.
I mean, I think more national selections need to do that. Now, as much as I am enjoying Pesma za Eurovision, I I still would have trimmed it down to like, I think they could have dropped like 10 of the songs. Um yeah, they could have dropped like 10 of the songs, but I do think what Finland does is great. I think it's a model to really follow. And I mean, even really kind of like Czech Republic too. Czech Republic, I think, and last year I think was a little bit stronger than this year. But what is that saying? It's not saying that this one was bad. It's really just a marker of how good the past editions
Mm-hmm.
have been. But thank you, Bruce, for joining the conversation. I hope you have a good evening over there.
Thank you. You too.
Till next time. Okay, I've got one other person. Well, not one, but I've got one person we're gonna bring up to the stream again. Okay,
Hello.
share
Well,
your thoughts.
thank you
Hello.
for having me back again. It's quite fun being on these streams. Sorry if I
Wonderful.
sound a bit like abbreviated. I've been drinking. Oh well. But anyways, I have some interesting opinions that I'd like to share. First of all, I don't know if you've seen some of the clips from Una Voce per San Marino, but like some of them are actually legendary. Also, for some reason, Ronella's there. She's just there. I don't know what
Well,
she's. I don't
someone
know if she's
sent
gonna
it
win
to
the.
me. I will say someone sent me the clip, and was I
Did you
supposed to
get the
think that it was really
toad?
good?
Did you get the toad screamer clip?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying, I just don't know if I was the clip that I saw. I don't know if I was supposed to think that it was good.
Well, the
I
San
was
Marino selection has
confused.
been like, from what I've understood, a lot of questionable things have happened behind the scenes during that whole selection from someone I know who has participated in one of the auditions process. But
Oh,
anyways, up
okay.
to the main thing. Uh, I'm starting to see a scenario that I think a lot of people would fight me over, but it is a scenario that can happen in the semis. We can lose all the Baltics, and we can get all the Balkans. That is actually a real possibility this year. It's the thing is, Lithuania is kind of on like the edge for me. Same with Estonia, and I think they could easily like in if we get more like strange entries or wildcards entries in the second semi, they could easily be forgotten as being basic, and then we'll have like uh songs like Slovenia pulling ahead and really being like a big like show in like the second half when we have like bridges and stay like slow ballads, and then we suddenly have this party. And then also Latvia, just given their track record, they can easily slip out. But then we also have the Balkans, like Serbia, we know is going to slay. No question. Same with Slovenia. I don't know. That's number 2 on my ranking this year so far. And Croatia I feel like in this modern age it's kind of hard to predict if those kind of entries are going to go through now with the televote. Like we've seen it like these weird entries go through before, like a good example, Yodelit. That went through. But I don't know if this would fall into the same category as Yodelit, because Yodelit had a charm to it. This feels like
Yodel It was
strange.
2017 though, right?
Yeah.
And 2017 was like a dirge. I mean, it was like I, 2017 was not a great year for Eurovision, so
Yeah, but that was
who
kind of the
knows?
I feel like that was kind of like the last time we had something similar to this. I wouldn't classify Portugal 2019 kind of in that same category. That's kind of an art category in itself. And the other thing I'm looking at now, I'm not agreeing with the odds at all that Norway and Sweden should be this high. I'm agreeing that Finland should be high because those have good songs. But no songs in either MGP or Melodifestivalen have impressed me. Like, they're not like giving me any winner vibes at all. Top 10, top 5 maybe, but none of the songs really convinced me, ooh, this could win. Not even Alessandra when she won. I was like, oh, she could do something, but not winning. And one more thing before I go. Marcus and Martinez, which is number 2 for winning the Light Behind Loreen in Melfest. If they win, there's going to be backlash in Norway because they're huge stars in Norway. They're from Norway, and they were huge stars. They won the junior version of NGP back in like 2012 or something, and they've been big ever since. And then they fucking betrayed like Norway and just went off to like Sweden and participated in Melfest. There's even like a document saying like they actually turned down NGP to like go to Melfest instead, even though they were offered to like participate. And I'm just like, dang, what a betrayal.
Well, you're speaking on a whole bunch of things. I love having you up in the mix. Till next time.
Till next time. I'll probably not be drinking next time.
Or do drink. Some of y'all are drinking already. I know y'all are watching this with your little cup. Got your little glass of wine, probably some cheese, some crackers. What kind of cheese are you eating? You know, I actually now I'm like, now I want a charcuterie board. All right. I'm bringing up next to the stage. It is Dakota Sinclair. I don't know. I'm like,
Hey, how are you?
I'm like, is that the intro that I want to do? Dakota.
Yeah, that's fine. Also, we could do like a Delilah. Dakota.
Yes.
Play really tired Eurovision songs and give people terrible relationship advice. It'll be great. It'll be wonderful. Yeah.
I think we're onto something. We're onto something with that.
I'll do the little halftime show if you need a pee break. That's fine. That's great for me. Yeah.
Oh well, hold on real quick. I just want to get this comment. Alesia, since it's in all caps, I really gotta address it. Do you think we still need the Big 5 automatic qualifiers rule? Short answer, yes. If you paying all that money, all that dough, you deserve to be in the final. That's money makes the world go around. I mean, I just think it ain't gonna go. It's not gonna go anywhere. Sorry, y'all. It's just it's not gonna go anywhere. They're not gonna get rid of it.
It's not gonna go anywhere. And honestly, let's be real. They don't actually super benefit from it all the time. Like, some of them really take advantage of it, and other ones get penalized for it. Like, every year now, it seems Germany is just getting punched in the face because it's like, you're automatically here and you gave us this. Come on. And also, I think there is some level of fandom familiarity and like camaraderie that we developed for the people who made it through national finals and are like, you know what I'm saying? And then it's like, oh, okay, this is just it, and you're already in it, and you didn't have to get it through the semis. You didn't have to go from a national final to a semi to the grand final stage. There's a journey we've been on with Monica Liu. I don't know what you're doing. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I stand by this statement. I believe it deeply. I know some people disagree with me. But yeah, automatically being in the grand final is not really an advantage. I just don't think, because people don't have to feel like fervent about it. And that's why sometimes I give Spanish Eurovision fans a little bit of a break. Not a lot, but a little bit of a break. Because it's like, if I were them too, I would go hard for my country too. I'd be fighting people in the comments too. Well, I wouldn't do that. Well, yeah, maybe I would.
Well, yeah, for America, I don't know how hard we would really go, but like, I can still like.
But I'm saying, if I was Spanish, because you have to, you got to stand for your folks, and because you're already automatically there, you don't have the other people kind of fighting alongside you, because it's like, we'll get to you when we get to Saturday. You know, right
Exactly.
now we're talking about the semi and whatnot.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and
100%.
honestly, yeah, and as long as they give us something good. Oh, hold on. Oh, I am Steven says, let's have the lowest scoring Big Five country of the final sent into the semis. If only it would happen. If only it would happen. And someone said, Liam says, Germany, bring back Cascada. No, thank you. No.
Because she
She
did
did
so
so well.
Let me tell
Even
you
though I
something.
did like that song.
Let me tell y'all a little story about the time I met Cascada at the Jersey Shore when I snuck into a bar underage and she was litty lit. And every time we touch, I had this feeling. And we were all feeling it because everybody was lit and it was great. And then she fell off the stage and I helped her up and it was great. She was lovely. She kissed me on both cheeks. It was a great time. I wish that when I saw her on the Eurovision stage, it had at least been that entertaining. It was not. It was kind of, it just, sometimes things, you know, they have a boom, sometimes they land with a thud, and sometimes you just forget they actually happened until someone reminds you. And that's not great.
Well, I love that. And I will also say Cascada, owner of one of the most ill-fitting, ridiculous outfits that I've ever seen on the Eurovision stage. I think I did like a recap of it, and I was like, why was she in like that Mother of the Bride
I just want to know,
terrible clothes?
why is Germany so against winning? I just want to know what.
Not this year. No, but not this year, because this year the national selection actually gave us some stuff. I don't think any of those songs will win Eurovision this year, because I just don't think that that's the mood of Europe right now. Hold on real quick. Y'all keep talking about the UMK rehearsal. Is it on Insta? Can someone just say where it is? Is it on Instagram? Is it on Twitter? Because after this is done, I will be hopping in.
I saw it on YouTube.
Okay, so it's on their YouTube. Yeah, that's right. Their YouTube channel is pretty good. Okay.
Well, it was some other YouTube channel. It kind of felt a little unofficial because it was somebody just like what the audience was. And also, to whoever said that thing about Benjamin, he sounded fine. Like, this is why they don't share rehearsals, because y'all act completely ridiculous. He sounded fine. You know what he sounded like? He sounded like a rehearsal. That was like.
Well, that's what I was sort of saying. I was like, I'm not gonna cover that. But hold on, someone says, because I actually don't think I've spoken on this at all. What do I think of the American Song Contest being canceled? Well, technically, it isn't officially canceled. I don't, like, they send out statements and whatnot. So I don't believe that it is officially canceled. But I will tell you, it wasn't set up for success without having me on the staff. It wasn't set up for success without having me on the staff, because here's the thing. They should have never had it. They should, pay me. Because they should have never had it go up against American Idol. It most certainly should have been like a summer. It should have been a summer show. They could have tied it in with the Today Show summer series that they do every year. Like, there were just so many, I would say, base rate things. I still stand by the fact it should not have been the 50 states and the territories. We should have been battling the regions. We should have been battling the regions.
There's just not that much variance. There just isn't, honestly.
And I don't even think it's the variance issue. It's just an awful lot of an investment for a passive American viewer who is not used to this format.
We're Americans, okay, y'all? So, like, we just want you to understand that we knew there was a problem with this, because anyone we've ever gotten into Eurovision, we have to tell them up front, listen, girl, this is a 4-hour extravaganza. There's going to be like 30 countries going, da-da-da-da. And when they're prepared for that, they can get into it, but it's still a lot. So to have the very first time you want to have the American Song Contest with a population totally unfamiliar with the idea, and decide to do San Remo and have it be a marathon that people have to get through, it didn't make sense. It wasn't structured in a way that was accessible.
Digestible. Yeah, it was not.
It wasn't accessible enough for the average American, and it wasn't. It's one of those things where, like, when they adapt a book for a movie, and it's too different from the book that the book fans get upset, but it's not different enough from the book to be something new that's easily digestible to the audience who doesn't know the base material. So then it just lives in this weird limbo, and then you don't get a sequel or a trilogy, Golden Compass.
Well, the other thing I would note too, and this I know will be unpopular with y'all, Alexa shouldn't have won. And not even I shouldn't have won, but it shouldn't have won because the issue is of the main viewer set for that show. Clear, she was not like, they are not her target demographic. And so you have the people who then were sitting back watching it who likely didn't vote for her. Like the bulk of them didn't, because really all of her K-pop people probably didn't even watch the show. They just were hopping on the internet and just, vote, because anyone could just, hop on the internet and vote for her. So then you sort of betray the audience a little bit, because they're like, how did she win? Like they just watched this whole thing. And again, I'm talking about the people who are viewing the show. Were then sort of like, how did she win? My poor mother was just like, oh my goodness, that young lady. They turned down the backing track, and oh dear.
On that delicious segue, I'd love to talk about Lithuania, because that's
go off.
I know well. I just want to say this really, really quickly. I think there's a certain amount of irony in having the person who ran away with Heat 1, ran away with Semi 1, won the televote, having that person get their win stolen from them solely by the jury in the first year without juries in the semis in how long. There's something kind of obscenely tone deaf in that. Like it doesn't make sense. And it's not a thing of Ruta being like lowbrow televote fodder where they were like, well, sure, she'll get through, but then it'll die in the final because, the juries won't vote for it. So, and it's like, but that's not true though. That was not this entry. Like this entry really did have so many people behind it. And to see that decision be made was really upsetting, because it was like, hold on, this is the year of the popular vote. Very much needs to be on people's minds when you are putting your entry forward, and you snubbed the popular vote for someone who didn't do very well through the whole process, kind of got through by the skin of her teeth at some points with something, and all of that could be forgiven if what she was giving was something that would be televote friendly, something equivalent. And a power ballad, as we know, is not super televote friendly. It depends on the year. Do I think that it's a bad song? No. Do I think you need to want to hear that kind of song? You need to be actively seeking out a power ballad in 2023? Yes. So it's great. She's good. She's good on stage. She's good vocally. She looked great. I'm not going to say it's not good. I think she's great. I think they put her in a bad position. I think that's unfair to her. So I don't know. I will say, I feel like Serbia this year, I don't see enough people talking about it. We kind of
slept on. No, y'all went, because this is the thing that I think that's irking me about, because some people are like, oh, well, because I heard some people say like, oh, well, it was just too many songs. Y'all all literally sat up there and and we're talking about mainly like Twitter. So we're talking about Eurovision Twitter. Y'all sat up there and like hate watched Malta's national selection.
Yep.
Week after week, you've been like, Melfest is mid, Melfest isn't delivering, whatever, you're doing that. And you literally got this treasure trove of like, I would say 16 solid songs. Okay.
When I tell you, I'm not used to having a national final where I have a top 10. A top 10 where I'm like, if any of these people win, I'm in. I'm good. I love it. it's an embarrassment of riches. Serbia brought it so hard this year. And don't think I didn't clock at Serbia in the visuals that you did for your artists and how you were like, okay, well, Benidorm Fest is doing that and we want to level up. So it's perfect. It's perfect. And it's quintessentially Serbian. Most of the songs are in Serbian or a mixture of Serbian and other languages, including English. The music a lot of it is cutting edge. A lot of it is very modern and up to date. A lot of it is very fresh and going to bring something very, very different to the stage, which I don't know if you guys noticed, we need this year. And, you know, I don't really like the overall pessimism that I've been seeing. I will say I do think that there is a foundation for saying this has been a very, very strong year in terms of national final entries. And over again, those national final entries are not getting picked. And what is getting picked is kind of mid. And then it ends up lowering the curve for the whole year where you're like, well, this isn't that exciting. And then we have our sort of old standbys that were like, well, they'll bring it through. But Australia messed it up by letting everyone think it was going to be the triumphant return of Dami Im. In the same year, we were having the triumphant return of Loreen, and it being this whole narrative and everyone being excited. And then, like, all you guys had to do was do in Israel. Be like, boom, it's Noah Carell. We'll let you know about the song. Okay, great. And this is a name everybody already knows because they already did it. Fine. Not a problem. I also agree, by the way, don't even announce the artist. Just show up with do your home. Here you go. Here's my project fully done, submitted. Here you go. And then
I don't mind an artist announcement if it's orchestrated and thoughtful, where it's like we have the artist announcement, maybe we do a little press conference, we have like a little promo video and everything that includes a snippet of the song.
Yes.
If you're doing a promo video, do not give me generic bed music. I need it to give a snippet of the song. But yeah, we do like a little press release. Then it's like I'm like cool with it. But just like the artist announcement and then the crickets, no.
I don't really understand the process of internally selecting last year's runner-up and what kind of message that can potentially send. It really doesn't. I don't think there's anything intentional there, but it can very unintentionally be read as, oh, Sheldon was a mistake. He didn't do as well as we wanted him to. And I've seen a lot of people say things like that of like, oh, that's what they're trying to say. And I'm like, okay, well, first of all, touch grass. Second of all, take a breath. Third of all, it's not that serious. It's fine. You know, clearly they were available. I do think that their entry for last year was stronger, quite frankly. So I don't know if internally selecting them the year after they came in second with a better song was going to really hype people up. To be honest, I don't think it's bad. I think they're great. His vocals are killer. I you know what I mean? Like, I do also.
Honestly, actually, you know what I realized with Australia? Here's the problem. It's funny to think that this song could become forgettable. But in semifinal 2, it could become forgettable. I hate to say that, and I because I like the song, and I'm also kind of like I think there is something risky about it. But in semifinal 2, when you got Albania, Armenia, low key, hell, even Romania, because that's risky. That's something that will pop.
It's, by the way, not a bad song, but they need
no, the staging. Yeah, it's only the staging. I mean, you got Georgia. You know, Georgia's gonna give us, I think, something really good. That's my fear. It's just with semifinal 2, we've got a lot of things that pop and countries that know how to make stuff pop
and stage well.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, I mean, even with Georgia, we know it's going to be Sasha. Y'all know that, right? Like, it's going to be, she's been doing it for them. So they're probably just going to hire Sasha again. And then we know we're probably likely to get a good song. So, you know, Georgia's in there.
You know, Albania is going to be a full-blown production with the
Albania is going to be great.
Yeah.
Like, and at first I was like getting a little bit nervous. But again, because this year has just been so safe and mid, I'm like, y'all good? Like, y'all are good.
Also, I will say I don't love the. One of the things that irks me about the fandom is the really basic, unnuanced comparisons, i.e., anything that has any industrial in it is suddenly Hatred Munsigra. Like, come on. The fact that anyone fixed their mouth to say that there was any relation between Quiero Arder and I Am is, to me, sacrilege. They're not even in the same ballpark. Oh, because they're two openly gay men that are singing a bop and both have a high note. Wow, there's no nuance there. Like, come on. So there is a ton of people, a concerning amount of people, who are already reading Australia, the eyes out of Australia, for sending Bulgaria 2.0.
Not even in the same. Hold on. Because I have heard the comparisons. Yeah. Nah, these are different. Like, these are different because really, like, Bulgaria was giving us like, yeah, I'll be like, I didn't like what Bulgaria was giving. Like, it was definitely like dated dad rock.
Yeah.
This is not dated. Like, Australia's is like electro rock, kind of a little bit of 80s. There's some pop elements in it. Nah, it's not. It's different. But I will say, I wouldn't be surprised if they got similar results. I could understand that conversation. Yeah, I could understand that conversation and jive, but I don't think that they're similar sonically.
They're not.
Yeah.
But people see, oh, okay, it's a bunch of dudes, it's a rock band, lead singer has curly hair. And it's like, really? That's all we're looking at? Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Right.
Okay. So I will have to bring this stream to a close because we have gone a marathon, y'all, and I'm just glad and so grateful for y'all holding on. And Dakota, thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Everybody like the video. Everybody leave a comment. Everybody subscribe. Run her that check. She's doing work out here in these streets. And everybody better vote for Hoyda Mood, because if that Robin child wins, I'm going to lose it.
Hold on. Do we think that Robin can win? I'm just like, do we think Robin can win? I'm just not living in the realm that is.
That's what I'm
possible.
saying. That's been the trend this year. Is
right.
Really interesting, super dynamic, and also I'm just gonna say it. I'll be the person to say it. Super queer entries that then are losing out to milquetoast boys who are doing bad songs that we've heard 15 years ago from washed up Justin Timberlake. Like, and it's like, we don't need it though. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, Cha-Cha could really win. I just want, like, it could really win. Yeah, like Cha-Cha, I think is the very clear front runner. It is gaining traction in Finland, but I think Kuma's song has the most streams.
It's really good.
I think Kuma's song had, well, the last time I checked, this was a couple of weeks ago, but I think at that time, Kuma had more streams than Cha-Cha, I think. And honestly, I'd be happy with anything winning. Yeah, but Robin's, that's the one song that I don't listen to at all. Kiara's song I don't really listen to, but it's on the playlist, but I skip it sometimes. But I'm not the demographic.
I really want her to come back.
Yeah.
What she did for like, hi, I'm here, I'm talented, I have a good vocal, here's a cute song. Come back again and just don't do autocorrect translate for it, because it's not, and I'm not saying she translated it from anything. I'm saying it's basically AI generated pop. Like,
well, yeah. Hey, da, 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 da. Yeah. I mean, it's cute, but I think Finland, if they send, but to be fair, I think her song will qualify.
Her song would qualify.
I think her song will qualify at Eurovision. Yeah. And
what else we have? Just simple pop banger for the girls and the gays will go right through.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it qualifies. So I just want to be clear. But I would prefer them to send, honestly, anything but Kiara or Robin, just because I kind of want Finland to be, I want them to be in a winner's circle conversation. And I think with the other Portion Boys, well, no, they probably wouldn't be in winner potential, but I do think that they would be a very solid and safe qualifier. Actually, I think that song, Portion Boys, that's the one that's like the.
Yeah, but which semi are they in?
What do you mean? You mean Finland?
If they're in the semi with Croatia, I don't think they do it. Because you can only have 2 joke entries of that kind of style, where the one who's more outrageous is going to be what people remember. I think.
No, I think because you have to transport. You got to go back to Eurovision before the juries. When it was just televoting only. I think that they could both get a ticket to Saturday. I think Croatia, because honestly, Croatia's song is political. It's whereas Portion Boys, it is fun. It is pure, unadulterated fun.
Right.
Whereas Croatia's, you got to think a little bit, So I think both could go.
I can see.
Oh, hold on, let me see. The issue for Finland, if they want to win Eurovision with Cha Cha, is jury. He needs to get like 360 televoting. To stand a chance. We have a lot of Here's the thing, though. Even though I think Europe is in a fun mood, I still stand by the fact that Alexandra could cut through, because she's not giving like the dramatic like power ballad. That's not the song. It's not a bridges. It's it's definitely not a message song. It's the type of like kind of melancholy slow song, even though it's not really that sad, but it kind of has that melancholic like feel that I think stands out.
I think the only problem with her song is that is a song that will either be in the 10 or top 5 at the final, or it will not be at the final. Because to me, it's giving way too much growing up is getting old, where you have to be really bought in or you don't see it at all. It's almost more polarizing.
I hear you, but looking at the foolishness of semifinal 1, it's qualifying. It's qualifying.
Yeah.
It's qualifying. That's the only, and that's the only thing I think we have to hold, because if you look at semifinal 1 and that first section, there is nothing else with like kind of a downbeat feel other than potentially what Portugal will do. I don't know what Portugal's going to do. I don't know where they're going to go. They got options. I interviewed You Can't Win Charlie Brown, and I think that they're pretty known in Portugal. I think the fandom is sleeping on them a little bit, and the song is really good. So if Portugal were to do something like that, but Mimi Cat is still, kind of one of the top. Claudia is really well known in Portugal. So say they go with Claudia, or even Edmundo, or even Bandua. So say they do something like that, that still wouldn't contend with Norway. You know what I'm saying? It's just, there's a lot of bombast. There's a lot of bombast happening in the first half of semifinal 1, and fun, quite frankly, that I think that's the one semifinal 1 is the one semi that someone's sending something a little bit more meditative could work.
It could.
Yeah, it could work.
With it though is just in response to the comment in terms of needing the televote. I just think about the televotes that like somehow blindsided everybody, whether it was Moldova 2022, Blind Channel from 2021, Goe, you know what I mean? Cha Cha can slot in there pretty easily because it's got enough rock, it's experimental enough. He's doing kind of interesting gender bendy stuff. Like there's a look, there's an aesthetic, there is a sound.
Cha Cha, we would be talking about winner potential for Finland, because I don't think that the juries would blanket as much as other people think that they would. I don't think the juries would blanket as much as we think they would.
I don't think they would blanket, and I think that's because it's Finland. I'm not trying to like cast aspersions. I'm just saying I think if some other countries sent Cha Cha, I think they would blanket without question.
Well, but to be fair, Finland, I feel like normally gets played on the televote and the jury side at Eurovision. I think sometimes Finland has given us really good, and they've not. But I just think Cha Cha is a hard one to ignore.
That's true.
It's a hard one to ignore.
You'll remember it when it's time to vote. It doesn't matter where it is in the lineup. You're going, the minute that those oh my God, help me. What is it called at the end when they play the little clips?
The snippet.
Thank you.
Oh, you mean, yeah, the recap, when they do the recap.
The
Yeah.
minute the recap plays, I don't care if Cha-Cha opens the show. The minute that recap plays, anyone who is even remotely into it is picking up their phone. For sure. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, and actually what Nil Era is pointing out is exactly my thinking. So like there's still a shot for Cha-Cha to win. Tiago, I think Cha-Cha has no chances to win. It just doesn't give any winning vibes. Here's the problem, y'all.
We haven't seen
and this is not me. Oh, well, hold on. This is not me. I'm going off of Europe. It seems like Europe really wants to have some fun this year, or they want something extremely ethnic. Okay? They want to have some fun and they want something extremely ethnic. Finland with Cha-Cha would be doing just that. It's fun and it's ethnic. It's not in English. So I'm not saying, like I'll say, like when I first listened to it, was I thinking like, oh, this could win Eurovision? No, but like as time has gone on, do I think it's like winner worthy? Yes. Could I make the math work for it to win? Yes.
I don't think anybody felt like that the first time they listened to Måneskin. Sorry.
No, that's not true. I thought it could win.
I mean, could and would are miles apart, though.
No. I was like winner potential, and I was like, because even with like momentum, but I'm a little bit psychic, so with the momentum and everything, I was like, it could be Italy's this year, and a little bit. I think some of Eurovision is like, is it your turn?
I just mean
like, is it your turn? And it was Italy's turn. It was Italy's turn. So it was kind of, and we knew that they were going to likely deliver something good. I got a little bit nervous because I was watching Sanremo that year, and I was like, Måneskin's the only one that could get it done, though. Because they had Francesca Michelin was in a duet. I was like, that ain't winning. And then they had Homeboy, who singing that. And I was like, Italy has the momentum to get it done, but they will not get it done unless they pick Måneskin. And they did. But I will say, I think the fandom got real quiet. Like as we were doing rehearsals, everyone was just like, oh, well, it's France's. I'll tell you, I never thought France was going to win.
That's what I mean.
I thought it was going to do very well, but I never thought that France was going to win. I never, ever thought it was going to happen.
I didn't either. And it's, you have to want something very French. You have to. Yeah. And I love Barbara. I think Barbara did great.
No, I loved it, but I just was like, I don't think that this is winning. So to me, if the only thing people were saying to me to try and change my mind about the potential for Måneskin winning was France, I was never going to be swayed, because I was like, no, I don't think that that's what Europe wants right now. I just don't. I was like, I don't think that that's what they want. And then, I got to be right.
I do think that there is, what I meant was, for the folks who are not as gifted psychically, people tend to rely on what has previously won. So
well, that's true. That's true.
What I mean about Måneskin is, Måneskin, I don't think anybody, when the songs were first released, was like, boom, this is the winner. I heard tons of people very passionately defending the song and being like, oh my God, this is incredible. This is incredible. Y'all are sleeping on this because it's a rock song and you guys don't give rock a chance. I heard that. So that's what I mean is like with Cha-Cha, it's like, can it win? Absolutely. Do I expect anyone to be that hyped about it being like a for sure winner? No, because of the genre, because of him, because of everything that goes into it, because it is a bit polarizing.
Yeah.
But that's
I think well, we got to bring this to a close, but looking forward to the national selections tomorrow, what's going down, I will say for me, I of course I will be watching UMK. I'm not going to be watching Sångbekämpen. They could have pulled me in off of the first semi, and they didn't. So I'm going to let that one go, but I'll tune into the final. I don't think I'm going to tune into Una Voce per San Marino. I think I'll have Finland on the TV. I'll have Melfest on the laptop, so then I can, depending upon who's performing, because UMK, I want to watch holistically. So if they're on a break or if the judges are talking, then I will throw Lorien up on the TV. But if the performance comes when someone else is performing for UMK, I won't be throwing it up on the TV. I'm not going to do it because I'm going to protect my peace.
Yeah.
And the way that I just don't want to go back to how I was feeling in 2017. I was not happy. And then I will be tuning in for Festival d'Arc-en-Ciel semifinal 1. I will be doing that. So that is what I'll be watching. That is what I will be watching this weekend. And I am going to tune into Poland's because Poland's is on Sunday. So
okay.
I will be tuning in to
I didn't even
Poland's
realize
selection.
it was this Sunday. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I'm honestly so stoked for Serbia, and I'm gonna watch Germany, and they're like the same few days that I'm so excited for that. I keep forgetting stuff is actually happening this weekend. So I've got to reorient myself and make sure I'm checking all of that stuff out for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this weekend's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good one. Ultimately, yeah, we'll have our winner, for Finland, which I think is really exciting. We'll have our Polish winner. And I guess we're going to have San Marino. I guess we'll have San Marino. So we'll see what that is. But yeah, all right. Well, thank you so much for joining me. And thank you to everyone who stayed on for this long live stream. I might attempt to put some chapters in this. And I can't tell you when I'll be back, but I'll be back. Yes. All right. Thank y'all. Bye.